Oh, hey, it's me. The over-enthusiastic first ride of spring that you were not ready for, Lindsay LaBella. Now tell me if this sounds familiar. It's finally warm enough to ride, the trails are calling your name, you tack up your horse, swing into the saddle, and suddenly you're realizing you're sitting either on a sleepy potato who forgot what forward means, or an over-caffeinated dragon that thinks every tree stump is a horse-eating monster. Well, welcome to the spring riding season. If your horse is a little out of shape or a little unbalanced or just mentally unprepared for the unpredictability of the trail after a long winter, you are not alone. Today, we're diving into how to safely refresh your horse's trail skills after a break. We're talking about how to rebuild strength, stamina without overdoing it, and exercises to improve footing and coordination on rough terrain, and a little mental prep for the spooky springtime surprises. Because that trail sign that your horse just spooked at was definitely not there last fall. So snap on those tight britches, knock off the spring muds, and mount up into this week's episode of Rochester Trail Riders. Winter downtime can lead to a loss of muscle, stamina, and mental focus. Even if your horse has been in light work over the winter, trail riding requires a different skill set than the sanitary four walls of an arena. The uneven terrain, shifting footing, unpredictable elements of the trail call for a level of balance and confidence that may have dulled over the cooler months. There are a few common post-winter issues that most riders run into. The first is loss of fitness. Your horse might struggle with hills, stamina, mental assurance, especially if they are confined to an indoor or small paddock all winter long. The second is hesitancy. Some horses become uncertain over mud, rocks, water crossings if they haven't encountered them in a while. And of course, we can't forget the spooky or reactive behavior. A fresh breeze, the horse eating chipmunk in the leaves, even a shadow that is in the right spot can turn a sensible horse into a bundle of chaos. A good spring refresher helps rebuild the strength, improve coordination, and brings back all the mental focus for your horse's need to enjoy the trail safety. Here are 3 areas to focus your spring refresher on. Number 1, physical conditioning for the trail. Spring might have arrived, but that doesn't mean your horse is automatically ready to jump back into full trail rides. Just because you're eager doesn't mean your horse's body is. A slow, progressive approach to conditioning is key to preventing soreness, fatigue, and injuries. Start with shorter, easier rides, keeping them to about 2, maybe 3 miles before increasing the distance. Even if your horse feels fresh, their stamina and muscle endurance might not be where it was last fall. So gradually introduce hill work, which is one of the best ways to build strength without putting on the excess strain on joints. Interval training, alternating between walks and short bursts of trotting, can also help rebuild cardiovascular endurance while keeping the workload manageable. And it is important to avoid overexertion. Watch for signs that your horse needs a break, including heavy breathing, excessive sweating, sluggish movement, soreness that can creep in, especially after those first few rides back on the trail. So pay attention to any stiffness the next day and adjust your workload accordingly. Taking the time now to condition properly will pay off with a stronger, more comfortable horse in the long run. Number 2, improve that footing and coordination. Trail riding isn't just about endurance. It's about balance, coordination, and the confidence of navigating uneven terrain. After a winter off, some horses can struggle with footing on rocks, mud, or unstable ground. Their body awareness may be a little rusty, making them hesitant or clumsy over obstacles that they would have handled easily last season. So here's a few simple exercises you can do to sharpen their footwork and rebuild the confidence before heading back out onto unpredictable trails. Pole work in an arena is a great way to stimulate stepping over logs and rough terrain. Start with ground poles at a walk and gradually increase difficulty by raising them slightly. Walking through water is great if you got it, but you can use a tarp in a controlled environment too, and it can help ease the hesitancy before encountering such conditions on the trail. If you have access to a bridge, great. If not, you can make one out of tires and a sheet of 3/4 inch plywood. Just make sure you have as many tires as you possibly can underneath that plywood to help the support. Practice mounted gate opening and closing to strengthen your communication and prevent unneeded dismounts. A lunch midway through a long ride is awesome, but if your horse doesn't tie well, be sure to add these sessions into the workout routine as well. Now, number 3, mental prep and managing trail reactivity. We all know physical conditioning is only part of the equation. Your horse's mental state is just as important when preparing for unpredictabilities of the trail. Some horses come out of winter a little too fresh, reacting to every sound and shadow, while others might be a little sluggish and unmotivated. Taking the time to reintroduce them to the mental demands of trail riding will help ensure a smoother, safer experience for both of you. If your horse is prone to spooking, start with short, familiar rides before heading out into unknown territory. This allows them to regain the confidence in an environment they know before heading to new challenges. Riding with a steady, calm horse can also make a huge difference. Horses take cues from the herd, and a confident partner can help a nervous horse settle down. One great exercise to help with focus and responsiveness is to practice leapfrogs with another horse. Taking turns passing and being passed gets them used to the idea that they might need to be left behind or move ahead on the trail. This can prevent unnecessary anxiety when a riding buddy speeds up or takes a different route. And gradually introducing trail distractions in a controlled setting is a great way to prepare for the unexpected surprises. If your horse hasn't been around dogs, hikers, bikes, ATVs in a while, it's time to expose them in a safe environment where they can process these experiences without that added pressure. And some horses, they might need a little extra nudge to get going, while others need that help settling down. Here's the good news. The same exercises work for both. Whether your horse is feeling sluggish or fresh, keep their brain engaged with bending exercises, frequent transitions, and small obstacles. Encouraging them to move off your leg and adjust their speed, focus on tasks will help them redirect nervous energy or wake up that lazy horse. If your horse has been standing out all winter, a quick groundwork or lunging session before riding can help get out any fidgets and set the tone for a productive ride. Whether it's free lunging, yielding exercises, or just getting them to focus on you, a little groundwork can go a long way in mentally resetting your horse before hitting the trails. Bringing your horse back to the trail after winter isn't something you rush. It's a process, not a race. Take the time to condition properly and prevent injuries while building confidence and ensuring a more enjoyable riding season. And remember, you know your horse best. If something doesn't seem right, whether it's delayed shedding, persistent soreness, or sudden change in behavior, always consult your veterinarian to make sure that there isn't an underlying issue. And if you enjoyed today's episode, share it with fellow riders who are dusting off the saddle for spring. And don't forget to leave a review. It helps more trail riders find us and keeps the conversation going. But before you head out, I've got a challenge for you this week. Pick one thing from today's episode and put it into action. Maybe it's setting up some pole work in the arena, planning a short conditioning ride, or introducing your horse to a new obstacle. If your horse has been off all winter, start with groundwork and an easy ride. If you've already been working, step it up a notch. Maybe add some hill work or focus on mental engagement. Whatever it is, be intentional. Take note of how your horse responds and adjust as needed. And if you do this challenge, I would love to hear about it. Send me a message, tag me on social media, or share it with a riding friend. So as always, folks, respect the trail, wear a helmet, and take the time to bring your horse back into work. Happy trails.